One great philosophy that we follow in our tradition is the man, when he elevates himself, he can raise to the divinity, right? And how do we know that? So on the either side of the temple, the people who lived as human beings, as Nayanmars and Alvars, have raised themselves to the divinity. Now, taking about the Nayanmars, they are the people who are born as human beings in this world and with different professions and from different walks of life. They can be either a king, they can be either somebody who was washing a cloth, somebody who was weaving a sari, somebody who was just a farmer, and even a king is in the list. A princess is in the list. So the list is showing us that what we can do to raise ourselves, to discard all the unwanted desires, and how to be focused in our life. There is one Thirukural that says, Patruga Patratran Patrinai, a Patrai Patruga Patru Vidakku. So how do I leave the attachment? Patru. We have to catch somebody who has left all these desires. Patruga Patratran Patrinai. So there will be somebody who has left all the desires, but you don't even need to follow that particular person, but follow what the philosophy he followed to leave all those desires. And that's why, though we have all the deities inside the temple, all the big Shaivite temple or the Vaishnavite temple still holds these idols of Nayanmars and Alvars, which we will be able to see when we circumambulate the temple to prove that the Advaita principle, where we can unite with God if we follow the philosophies of Nayanmars and Alvars. So here is going to be a simple presentation which will be talking about all the names of the Nayanmars. And there we all know 100 is a very nice number, 108 is a very nice number, but when you call the list of Nayanmar, it is 63. You would have never heard about an odd number like 63 in any other literature or anywhere where you are following this tradition. So how do we know it is only 63 and not a whole number like 100? Did we miss somebody in the list? Or is it something from the palm leaf manuscript, we missed the names of another 17 people to make it as a whole number? So the question is valid, but the answer is also so much valid. How the answer is valid? The answer is valid because the list is coming all the way from Shiva himself by making one of the Nayanmars in this list called Sundara to start singing all the names of these Nayanmars. And the very first sentence was started by Shiva himself. முதலடியை சிவன் அவர்களே எடுத்து கொடுத்து தில்லைவாழ் அந்தனர் என்று தொடங்கி 63 வரிசைப்படுத்தி பாடுக என்று சொன்ன காரணத்தினாலே சுந்தரர் அவர்கள் கொடுத்த திருத்தொண்டர் தொகையின் மூலமாகவே 63 என்பதையும் அவர்களுடைய பெயர்களையும் இன்று நாம் அறிந்து கொள்கிறோம். How does this happen? On a very nice day, Sundarar was trying to go inside Thiruvarur temple to see Lord Shiva. And on a side mandapam like this in Thiruvarur called Devasriya Mandapam. The name Devasriya Mandapam says the Devargal will all come and reside in that mandapam because in Thiruvarur he is considered as Raja himself. And the Sayarachai Puja, the evening puja is so famous. So everybody in the world will come and reside in the mandapam to see how the Raja is coming out, and that's how the name is called Devasriyan Mandapam. And in that mandapam, there were a group of saints who were discussing and talking about Lord Shiva. And we all know Sundarar is a guy who is very much close to Lord Shiva and he's like a friend. So he just walked into the temple, he just walked into the altar to talk to his friend who is nothing but Lord Shiva. And in this mandapam, there was a group of saints, and one among them is an elder or senior most called as Viranminder. Now Viranminder got little bit agitated. he felt this is not the way Sundarar can do this. He might be a friend. He might be somebody who is very much close to Lord Shiva. But we make all these praises and we are dedicating our life to Lord Shiva, and we are the saints here sitting and talking about Lord Shiva. How cannot he even not pay attention to us? This is what made an agitation for Viranminder. And Viranminder said, if Sundarar is going to do this recurring, then from the moment onwards, I will now keep Lord Shiva away from my practices. In Tamil it goes, Indru Mudal இறைவனை நான் புறகு செய்கிறேன் என்று Viranminder கோபம் கொள்கிறார். When that happens and when Sundarar is now inside the sanctum, Lord Shiva says, do you realize what you have done? Do you realize what you have done? You have not seen Viranminder on your way. They are the Adiyargal. Now why Adiyar is so much important? When Avvayar was asked the question, what is biggest in the world? பெரிதினும் பெரிது புவனம் பெரிது புவனமோ நான்முகன் படைப்பு நான்முகனோ அரிய கரியமால் முந்தியில் பிறந்தோன் கரியமாலோ அரவணையில் துயில்வோன் அரவமோ உமையவள் ஒருவிரல் மோதிரம் உமையவள் இறையவர் பாகத்துள் ஒடுக்கம் இறையவர் தொண்டர் உள்ளத்துள் ஒடுக்கம் தொண்டர்தம் பெருமை பேசவும் பெரிதே. So it starts from Bhuvanam, the universe is the biggest, but it ends with the list saying Shiva is on his saints, on his Adiyargal. So to talk about Adiyargal is biggest. So Shiva says, Adiyargal illai endral naan illai. If there is nobody like these followers who make this tradition go on, I am nothing. So do me a favor. And Sundarar started asking to Shiva, what should I do? Now start singing Thiru, Thondar, Thogai. Thogai means a collection of names. And Thiru, Thondar, Thogai is sung where Sundarar said, how will I do this? And then Lord said, I will give you the first line. Tillaivar andanartham adiyarkum adiye. And then all the lines started coming and we got the names, and that's how we are very confident that it is 63, because it came all the way from Sundarar, all the way from Lord Shiva because of this incident. So today, the Meenakshi temple has taken a great step. We have these Nayanmars, but do we know them? Do we know the story behind? Do we know the song still exists called Thiru, Thondar, Thogai? Today, though we were not able to bring all 63 Nayanmars, while we are reciting with this wonderful team of percussionists, Thiru, Thondar, Thogai, some of these specific Nayanmars will be making their appearances. We will get to know about them at the end of the recital, and here we start Thiru, Thondar, Thogai. And let's give a round of applause for Meenakshi Temple for what they have come up with.